So to update you on the situation with Iran, the Department of Homeland Security has issued a bulletin from the National Terrorism Advisory System. This is kind of important, so listen up. Now, this is pretty long, but of course I got you. The main points here are that the ongoing conflict is causing a heightened threat environment in the United States. Cyber attacks by both Iranian-affiliated parties and also hacktivists, those are like the basement nerds yelling at their mom because she didn't cut the crust off trying to be activists for Iran. They might jack up your network. Iran also has a long-standing commitment to target U.S. government officials it views as responsible for the death of an Iranian military commander killed in January 2020. In other words, Soleimani. In other words, President Trump. Now, others, of course, but spotlight on President Trump. Violent extremists in the homeland may independently mobilize to violence in response to the conflict if Iranian leadership issues a religious ruling calling for retaliatory violence against targets in the homeland, which they've done. We've got both Iranian individuals floating around, thank you, Biden, and we've also got nutjob sympathizers. Now, the Iranian government did say, do violence, my minions. I'd also like to point out that if you see something, say something. So if you Google DHS Bulletin, it'll bring you here, and this is a clickable link where you can report suspicious activity. So that's the summary in a nutshell. Everybody keep your head on a swivel and stay safe. Now, this may be fear-mongering, I get that, but this guy, Brian Anthony Browning, drove his truck into a church yesterday in Michigan and started firing at people. It didn't end well for him.
You'll stay and move around the foyer and let the kids tell you about the great treats we had this week, and have some too. Thank you. Oh. Come on, everybody to the back. Please, everybody come to the back. Come to the back, Don. They gotta come. They gotta come on.
He picked the wrong church. More specifically, his mom picked the wrong church because she's a regular there. Now, he's been there a couple of times over the last year. Let's just say one parishioner ran him over and two more filled him full of freedom seeds until he was no longer with us. I said all that to say this. Police say there is no evidence to believe that this act of violence has any connection with the conflict in the Middle East, but they also do point out that the church shooting came from a heightened threat environment across the country following a U.S. attack overnight in Iran that destroyed or severely degraded 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities, according to the White House officials, more specifically the following day. Coincidence? Fear-mongering? I'm just reporting the news, man. Also, I was wrong about how many resources the U.S. used against Iran. In total, there were 7 B-2s. Around 125 planes on an 18-hour flight with multiple in-air refuels, and we also had a submarine that launched around 30 Tomahawk missiles to destroy the remaining surface structures at Isfahan. Iran's parliament also voted to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which in my opinion is the opposite of smart. Now, the Strait of Hormuz accounts for roughly 7% of China's energy needs. It also accounts for 11% of the European Union's. There's also Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and 0.7% of the US. Less than 1%. This baby is throwing a tantrum. Speaking of tantrum, Democrats are melting down because Donald Trump didn't inform them about the attack beforehand. Imagine their surprise to find out that the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military actually has the authority to command the military. Because liberal, if you like what I do, please leave a like, they really help. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.
Every analysis and comparison reaches the same conclusion. The American Armed Forces are in a league of their own. Think twice, or better yet, think 7 times before squaring up against Uncle Sam.